All right, so today we are digging into a blueprint for how you could turn $1,000 into a million. And no, this isn't about some hot stock tip or a new crypto coin. It's about a total shift in how you think about building wealth, and it's inspired by the framework from Ayman Gadzhi. So let's just start with the big question, the one we've all asked ourselves. You've got $1,000. What do you do with it to actually get rich? I'm not talking about making a little extra cash on the side. I mean building real, life-altering wealth. Now, your brain probably jumps straight to stocks, or maybe real estate or crypto. But what if I told you that for almost everyone starting out, that advice isn't just a little off, it's a trap. A trap that's basically designed to make sure you never actually get there. To really get why, we need to completely reframe how we look at investing. And the best way to think about it is like a football game. Are you playing offense or are you playing defense? First, you've got defensive investing. This is what you do when you're already winning the game, right? You're up by a few touchdowns and your main goal is just don't screw it up. It's all about protecting the wealth you've already worked so hard to build. We're talking low risk, steady, secure. And then you've got the flip side. Offensive investing. This is the playbook for when you're starting at zero or maybe you're even behind. You've got to score and you've got to score fast. This is not about protecting anything. It's about aggressively going out there and creating wealth from scratch. And I mean, when you put them side by side, the difference is just night and day. Offense is for the person starting out. The main goal, hit that first 6 or 7 figures, and you do it by building high income skills. Defense, that's for the person who's already rich. Their goal is just to protect what they have, using tools like the S&P 500. It's 2 completely different games for 2 totally different players. And here's the kicker. Most of us are being taught to play the wrong game from day one. We're taking advice meant for millionaires, and it's leading us straight into what you could call the rich people advice trap. This quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. So often, wealthy people giving advice kind of forget how they actually got there. They didn't get rich by diversifying a few $1,000s. No way. They got rich because they went all in on one thing, their business, their craft, and only then did they start to diversify to protect it. Still not convinced? Okay, let's do a little experiment. Let's run the numbers on the most common safe investing advice you hear all the time. Let's say you take that $1,000 and you do what everyone says. Just put it in an S&P 500 index fund. Okay, so if you had put that $1,000 in 5 years ago, and remember, that was a period of incredible market growth. Today, it would be worth about $1,700. That's a $700 gain. Now, percentage-wise, that's not terrible, but let's be real about what that number actually means. And that's the real question, isn't it? Is an extra $700 spread out over 5 long years going to change your life? Is that going to get you financial freedom? For pretty much everybody, the answer is a hard no. It's not a wealth-building strategy. And that right there is the core problem. When you play defense with $1,000, you're trying to protect something that's just too small to make a difference. It's a strategy for staying rich, not getting rich. And ironically, following that advice is one of the best ways to make sure you stay broke. So if that's the wrong move, what's the right one? Well, the real offensive play is simple. It's incredibly powerful, and it's the one thing you have 100% control over. You invest in yourself. Just look at the insane difference in scale here. That same $1,000 in the S&P 500 might get you to $1,100 after a really good year. But investing that same $1,000 into learning a high-income skill, that could realistically turn into an income of $100,000 or more in the same year. The return isn't just better, it's not even in the same universe. And listen, this isn't just about some guru's online course. Self-education can mean getting a plumber's license or a real estate license or becoming a certified personal trainer. The point is to get a real tangible skill that people are willing to pay good money for. It's all about building your ability to earn. But wait, it gets even more powerful because skills compound in a way that money just can't, at least not at first. It's what the source material calls the skill stacking cheat code, and it's how you get that exponential growth without waiting for decades. So think about it like this. You've got 2 paths. On one path, there's compounding interest. Its main ingredient is time, lots of it, decades even. The result? You might be wealthy when you're 70. On the other path, you have compounding skills. The key ingredient there is learning, which takes months, not decades. The result? You can build wealth now, while you're young enough to actually enjoy it. Let's make this super clear with a quick story about John. He starts out making $20,000 a year.
He learns skill number 1, copywriting, and boom, his income jumps to $70K. Then he adds a second skill, hiring and delegating, and doubles his income to $140K. Then he stacks on client acquisition and doubles it again to $280. And finally, he adds personal branding and he crosses $1 million a year. See how each new skill just multiplies his value? It's predictable.
Okay, so what does all of this boil down to? It leads to this final and honestly most important idea. It's a total mindset shift. The focus isn't on some stock or property out there, it's on you. You are the asset. Now, let me be crystal clear. The goal isn't to just ignore defensive investing forever. Of course not. It has a very important role to play. But its time comes after your offense has already put a ton of points on the board. Once you're making more cash than you know what to do with, that's when you start building the fortress and playing defense. This Jay-Z quote, which is highlighted in the source material, just sums up this whole idea perfectly. Your company, your investments, those are just things you own. The real enterprise, the core business, that's you. You are the business. At the end of the day, no stock, no piece of property, no fancy watch will ever be as valuable as you are. They're just the eggs. You are the golden goose. Your skills, your knowledge, your drive, that is the single most valuable asset you will ever own. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. Forget about the stock market for a second. Look inward. Ask yourself, what is the one skill, the one piece of knowledge that if I learned it today would give me the absolute highest return on my investment? That's the real question you should be asking.